My uneducated guess is that he better hurry up and start producing a little bit, because this negotiation that I'm seeing so far has not panned out.
You voted for this president.
Yes.
Regrets?
Yes.
You voted for President Trump. You liked his, I remember you saying, you liked his can-do, get-it-done attitude. So now, in this moment, when you say you're in a free fall, what is your message to him?
I was on the Trump train, I was off the Trump train, back and forth. Where I'm going for now is I got to protect my business. You know, a minute ago, the president, you played a clip that he said that we were patriots. Well, I'll tell you what, to me, that's just a design to make me continue to be quiet, and I'm not going to be quiet.
You know what, Christopher? That is
patriot
actually
this.
something.
I got to protect my family.
You speaking out against a trade war, is that unpatriotic, Christopher?
No, it's certainly not unpatriotic at all. And I'm not going to have my, certainly not going to have my patriotism questioned. I'm not sure why the president's even bringing this up. Listen, for me to be a patriot, the best thing I can do is to take care of my family, to take care of my farm, and make sure that I stay viable. Because farmers buy things. They buy things that are manufactured. And by the way, you know what we buy? We buy things made out of steel. We buy things made out of aluminum. So that's our duty. And why the farming community has to take one in the shorts just so that the president can have a talking point and be tough on China, just is a little bit beyond me.
Those are Trump supporters, not from this year, but from the year 2020, saying that they regretted their vote for Donald Trump because his tariff plan against China was working against their business interests. And boy, do I have news for them, because history is repeating itself. Because here we are again with farmers saying that they do not want Trump to enact the policy that he campaigned on. I'm not making this up. This is from Reuters. U.S. farm groups want Trump to spare their workers from deportation. I'll read for you. U.S. farm groups want President Donald Trump to spare their sector from his promise of mass deportations, which could upend a food supply chain heavily dependent on immigrants from the United States illegally. So far, Trump officials have not committed to any exemptions, according to interviews with farm and worker groups and Trump's incoming, quote, border czar, Tom Homan. Nearly half of the nation's approximately 2 million farm workers, half, lack legal status. In other words, they're illegal immigrants, according to the Departments of Labor and Agriculture, as well as many dairy and meat packing farmers. So I don't understand what these people thought they were voting for if Donald Trump was going to get back into office. And as that video I played for you shows, farmers were extremely hurt by Donald Trump's tariffs. And now in the year 2024, they voted for a man who ran on mass deportations, and now they don't want it to affect them. And this is going across the board, where we're seeing folks who felt like Donald Trump wasn't worried about them. He was talking about someone else. He told Fox News on November 11th the enforcement against businesses would, quote, have to happen, but has not said whether the agriculture sector would be targeted. Does anyone here think Donald Trump cares about anyone else or any other business? It might be that there could be some business leaders who are friendly with Trump and they can persuade him to not do this. But it's insane to me that business communities were not speaking out against this policy until after the fact he got elected. And here's one representative from Trump saying the American people reelected President Trump by a resounding margin, giving him a mandate to implement the promises he made on the campaign trail, like deporting migrant criminals and restoring our great economic greatness. And this is from one of the advocates saying, we need the certainty, reliability, and affordability of a workforce program and programs that are going to allow us to continue to deliver food from the farm to the table, said John Holley, Director of Government Relations at the International Fresh Produce Association. Well, you know who could have delivered you certainty, reliability, and affordability? A President-elect Kamala Harris, not President-elect Donald Trump. This is funny to me. It goes on to say, but for workers, the fear of enforcement can create chronic stress, said Mary J. Dudley, director of the Cornell Foreign Worker Program, which is training workers to know their rights if confronted by immigration officials. So they have to train their workers what will happen if Donald Trump's policies are enacted, the policies that many of them supported or at least were silent about. If there are, again, raids on meatpacking plants, immigration enforcement should take the precautions to avoid detaining workers in the country legally, said Mark Perrone, international president of the United Food and Commercial Workers Union, which represents some meatpacking workers. Edgar Franks, a farm worker, said the group is seeing new energy from workers to organize. Quote, the anxiety and fear is real, but if we're together, there's a better chance for us to fight back. Okay, well, Donald Trump meant all that stuff. And he also is 100% behind the tariffs, too. Watch this Fox News host face as she's a business host, as this congressman talks about Trump's tariffs and how there's going to be, quote, winners and losers, just like there will be in the mass deportations. There's going to be winners and losers with all of Trump's policies.
It's going to create some winners and some losers, to be fair. But I do think that overall, it's going to benefit the entire whole of the United States of America. And I think that the overarching inflation is going to be mitigated by the benefit that we're going to receive by some of these trade offsets. So look, and I think that Trump was successful in getting Mexico to help in the Remain in Mexico policy through his in threat of tariffs. I think that in a lot of cases, these tariffs are mostly meant to try to bend these foreign governments into the will of the United States. So they're allies to us.
So that man is admitting that Trump's plan, his economic agenda, is going to cause inflation. And I mean, he's right, but that man is not. All I can think about when I see that congressman is the time when Pete Buttigieg absolutely destroyed him during a congressional hearing where this man said that gasoline fires are not a thing. Watch Pete Buttigieg destroy this man.
Have you done any calculations, given the current rate of fires that occur, and these fires, as reports indicate, take hundreds of thousands of liters of water to extinguish when an electric vehicle catches fire? Do you have any research that indicates how many people might die from some of these fires?
I haven't seen a projection of that. I'm sure you're aware that flammable liquids are also a safety concern, and either way, we work to make sure that they are handled in a safe fashion.
We're not seeing the reports of vehicles, like an epidemic of regular gasoline vehicles catching fire.
You're not?
Across the United States.
You've never heard of gasoline fires in vehicles?
150,000 liters of water to put out?
Are you familiar with what happened to the I-95 bridge? Let me assure you that the use of flammable liquids to propel hundreds of millions of vehicles includes hazards. Let me also make you aware that the American Chemical Society estimates that 9,700 Americans a year die from the pollution associated with passenger vehicle use in this country.
So the stupidest people in the world are making the most important decisions about our lives, and the people who voted them in don't even want them to enact the policies that Donald Trump ran on. This is the world we are living in. So thank you so much for watching. It has been great being back on YouTube, and I'm so glad I took the week off, but it's really nice that the community is still here. We have each other to kind of support ourselves during this, what is going to be an insane, infuriating, and scary time, and I'm so glad to be sharing it with you. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, hit like in the video. It actually, I've not asked and I have asked. Asking actually really does help boosting the algorithm. And as you know, independent media is so important. So if we can get videos like mine and other channels out to as many people as possible, hitting like just helps so much spread that message. And if you're not subscribed, consider subscribing and leave a blue heart at the end so I know you watched.